Warm greetings, Josie here and back to explore Major Arcana. We have 4 cards remaining. My goodness. And today's card to contemplate is the World card. Okay. Sit with me, bear with me. There are many symbols here. There are double-sided wands or batons being held in this central figure's hands, as you may see. These kind of double-sided wands. And interestingly, these bound leaves or like gathered and braided leaves that are circled around somewhat remind us of the Ouroboros, or the symbol of that snake that continues round and actually devours or eats its own tail. And then, of course, we see 4 different heads in the corners of this card. This is known as the final card of the Major Arcana. Even though it's numbered 21, of course, we know that it begins in 0. So, okay. The journey has been long. The journey has been long. The journey has moved us through many teachings. There has been asked of us to have potentially the eagle vision or the bird's eye view, to be able to see further than our perspectives that we carry at present. There has been also the teachings of the beast or the lion, right? To show us where our pride may veer us into the indirect or incorrect paths, the difficult paths, as well as how to tap into the strength of the lion to support us moving forwards and onwards with that vigor and care of heart, of like courage and care for the whole, like the pride of a lion. I think that's a name of something, or like of what, the group of the pack of the lion. And then, of course, we see that, yes, we have also had to experience potentially some shadows, some monstrosities, some horned ones that brought up all antiquated or articulated specific teachings or fears, brought them right up for us to see how much those fears may be revered and honored and continued to be supported within us, within our carriage. And then, of course, we also, on top of all of these, animal effigies or symbols, that we also had to move through and explore the experiences of our own human mind, our human capacity, and sometimes our felt or experienced incapacity. Like our fallibility is almost what they're sharing. The fallibility of our humanness. And so then we come to this kind of like final completion, right? This card where it speaks of the world, where it allows us then to understand how all of these stories explored in Major Arcana can be felt and experienced in the most micro parts of our self, the most like cellular level. They're showcasing like the blood, the bones, the movements, the currents within our actual physical form. They can be felt and experienced within the heat and the tumult of the fires and the waters, and like how like the elements actually move through our physical form. They can be felt, like there's so much in acknowledging, right, like our self in these cards, and almost like looking up, looking towards ourself in such a way of truth, compassion, and care. The sharp or sometimes the dark truths shared and felt and experienced within these major arcana prompts are not here for us to like look into that mirror and to, believe or feel so poorly about ourselves. It is there for us to like be gently, like to care for ourselves, and to almost like they're almost showing like to take in all those aspects that we carry in our current, in our day, in our present. And this whole self that we consume within this journey, that we may then like chew upon, we may digest and actually cast some out, expel some aspects out. It is not because then we are almost like saying that those aren't good parts of ourselves, so we get rid of them. It is more of relinquishing like some of the things that we have carried that we may have actually gathered along the journey, that we have picked up along the way. Those are the things that slowly we relinquish the control of within our self. They're sharing like visage and carriage, so I'm just translating it to self, but you can take visage or carriage if you so choose. Ooh. So yes, what we expel out in this process is not like getting rid of kaka parts of self. It is about relinquishing, again, the hold of what some of the things we have gathered along the way of experiencing and exploring self, that no longer like not just bear fruit, but no longer are need to be held dear, because in our acceptance and our acquiescence, our allowance, our kind of like, and the energy of what they're sharing in of this like acceptance, it's not like that you're like, okay, I give up. It's more like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize there was so much of me here. I didn't like, there's almost like a wonder in like going, wow, there is so much of myself to explore and to discover, and so many different parts of me. And they're not just parts that I used to say, like, these are the good things, the good parts, and these are the bad parts. But now it's like this kaleidoscope has opened up of me. This like, I am much more than just good or bad. And I can carry all of those things that like make me me, even the things that like make me sad or angry or mad about myself, because they are me. There's something in such a like a deep ownership of self-identity. Woo! And it's so neat because I'm almost going like, wow, this message is coming, yes, because it is almost like the last card of the Major Arcana, right? The last card in of the journey, of this journey of the depths of ourself in its entirety, that we can then like fully accept ourself. And and like an utter just like honor and wonder, and like I just feel like there's such this gentle gaze to self within the mirror, within this card that's prompted, of just being like that, like you see all the different things, and now you see you. And in that you, it's not that you're like, oh, I need to better me, I need to repair me, I need to change me. That's me. That's me. And so then you can kind of like let and release those last things that you were holding on to from some others, right? Like from other people's identities or other people's ways of being and acting. You can kind of like set those down and let them be where they need to be with them. So that then, this beautiful kind of awareness is like, yes, we share, it's like you got the whole world available to you. Because of course, like in that true and like almost surrender of that reflection of self, that like that deep devotion and care that you can then share to self, like in less of that self-beratement, and like again, like the all the shadows that we have had to move through to get to this point, that maybe, just maybe, you can then look outside of you and see and share that same wonder, that same magnitude of feeling and sensation and acceptance to what is, what may be around you, what might be seen further within the globe. And I know when we look outside of ourselves, we see the conflicts that we carry mentally, figuratively, cognizantly. Like there's so many different words that they wish to share of the conflicts that we carry in our own self-identity. That it's like we whenever then we look outside of ourselves to the globe, we like focus on all of that same conflict. We see like all of that same like the hurt, the harm, like the disruptions, the vigor, the intensity, the seriousness of how we have had to move through our own self journey. And yes, there's almost like a gentle kind of like calm of going, yes, my love, I know it's intense times right now. I know that looking outside of that, like of that self is you know, a really raucous and difficult place to be. But do you see, because so many of us are doing the steps of work, and so then we, you know, it's like as we then come to terms with our self-identity, then how can we come to terms with like I feel it, with global identity, with what is shared with us in our world and worlds. Meaning like there are so many different ways we can look outside. We can look out and see a pretty park and be like, that's the only view I see. That is my world. I can look out and see my neighborhood. And I see that is like the only aspects of my neighborhood I want to see. There is sharing here like some type of like how just as how we have focused and almost sometimes put blinders on aspects of ourself, because we either are leaning one way to our self is bad or our self is good, right? Do you see? Like either way can share blinders. But as we like as we allow ourselves to see ourselves in our wholeness, in our entirety, in that kaleidoscopic version of so much multiplicity, that there's now this gentle prompt and practice of then going, how can I start to see the world like that too? That it doesn't have to be all bad, all good to make me feel safe, to move through. That I, in my kind of wondrous mess, can potentially also explore the world around me, connect in and interact with the world around me, with that same care, with that same kindness. What and how does that prompt us to act? How does that shift our visions of sight? How, what might bring still up frights in the night? What may still prompt us to courageously move into those spaces outside of us now with that same love and strength that we have done within the journey of ourself. Wow. Thank you, dear Spirit. Thank you, dear ancestors, most gracious. Thank you, most beauteous angels, and all of those wonderful beings that support, protect, guard, and guide us to share this message today. I promise to sit with this message. Thank you. Thank you. I thank you for sitting with me to receive this message. Let me know what may arise from it. Hold on. Hold on tight. I'm just hearing like, hang in there. There's some more cards to discover within the Arcana. It's interesting how we get close to the end of the journey to almost like understand what is here at that close of our self journey, is that then there is more and more and more to discover. Deep honor. Thank you. Take care.